ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Well, they said you was a high class. Well, that was just a lie. They said you was high class. Well, that was just a lie. You ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Well, they said you was a high class. That was just a lie. Lord, they said you was high class. Well, that was just a lie. You ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Hey everybody, Steve here, and I'm glad you're with us. Another Wariner Wednesday. I think this is number 12, but who's counting? But it's a crazy night weather-wise here in Nashville. We had a unbelievable big storm came through about an hour ago or so, and a couple hours ago I guess, and gully washers looked like a river running down through here, and then it got nice, and then a few minutes ago it started back up. So we hopefully our everything stays on and stays secure here, our power, so our internet. So anyway, wherever you are, wherever you're watching this from, wherever you are streaming, whatever you're doing, however you're getting us, thank you guys for being with us. And got some stuff tonight. Let's see, I want to tell you about our charity tonight that I want to recommend that maybe you guys help out with. Every show we try to do a different charity. A few people have said, hey, we want to support you. We want to send money. Nothing for me. I want you to do it for our charities if you are so inclined. Tonight, our charity is Kim and Brad Paisley's, they call it The Store. And it is, the information is going to be up on the screen. If it's not already, it's going to be up. And they do a wonderful job. They feed a lot of people that don't otherwise may not have food. And so they do a great job. It's called The Store. Kim and Brad Paisley and Kim Williams Paisley. And my hat's off to them. So check out the information. Also, I want to say, see what else we got. Our next Wariner Wednesday, I'll go ahead and tell you now. I may bring it up later again. But our next Wariner Wednesday is going to be next month on the 19th, August 19th. And we'll be reminding you about that. I did a little doodle this week. I did a little drawing of a little laptop, I think it is. And it's a little light shining, a little cactus. And it's a little face that looks a lot like me on the screen of the computer. And and then it says Wariner Wednesday. But I had a lot of response from that. So a lot of people said t-shirts, coffee mugs, t-shirts. So I think we're going to do something about that. It's I think a fun little drawing, just a little sketch thing I did. So anyway, let's see. The night show I'm going to, I say show, but our program tonight I'm going to dedicate to my sister-in-law, Carol, up in Indiana. She just is getting over major surgery, and she's doing great. And so we're really happy about that. And Carol, we love you. Karen's here with me. We love you, and we know you're doing well, so we're happy about that. And let's see, we're still. I'm still hoping that one day soon I can play in front of some real people. But until then, we'll keep doing some Warner Wednesdays here and there, and hopefully you guys will join us. As long as everybody's watching and the numbers are up and everybody's having fun and they like this, we're going to keep doing it. And so there you go. Charlie Daniels, sad on Charlie. Great guy, a great man that there'll never be another one like that guy. I was lucky to get to play with him several times and got to know him. And I met him at the beginning of his career. We were both kind of starting out, and we used to do the Ralph Emery morning show here in Nashville, and he Long-Haired Country Boy was just coming out. That's how long ago it was. I didn't have any records out yet, so I was playing bass in a band called the Dottie West Band. So anyway, and don't forget also, if you're so inclined, Charlie always loved the military stuff, anything to do with wounded warriors or the soldiers that are coming back that we can take care of. So
it's the journey home. It's Charlie's.
Thank you. The journey home. My wonderful producer, sidekick, wife, all that in one. Karen is with us. They keep saying, "Come around, Karen," and so anytime you feel like it,
tonight.
Come on around. But yeah, his charities of choice were always. Military related. He was a great military guy and supported our troops fully. And so I was looking at a picture not long ago. I was looking at an old picture of my family, my mom and dad, and my siblings, and I wrote a song. Alan Shamblin came in and helped me finish it up, and it turns out to be one of my favorite songs. I thought I might try it for you. I've been working on a little track of this, recording it. Maybe if it turns out good, I'll stick it up and everybody can buy it or pick it up and hear it, stream it, I should say, and listen to the record version of it. I've never recorded it before, but it's called When Me and Mom and Dad Were Kids. So, but I'm looking at this picture thinking, wow, look how little all of us guys are. Kenny, Barbara, David, Terry, myself, and Mom and Dad. And I remember we lived out by the Noblesville Drive-In. We lived out in the country out there. And this picture, I look at this picture and I say, man, my mom and dad were just kids. All of us were kids, but they were kids too, really. They were so young in this picture. So that's where this song came from. Teacher would drag an old black and white TV into the classroom. A couple times a year, rabbit ears, aluminum foil. Mickey Mantle, the Yankees in the series, praying we could tune it in. Splash downs in the ocean, watching John Glenn. We had a 57 Plymouth, standard transmission. Us boys would lift the carpet, watch the road through a little rusty hole. All these snapshot memories, they happened long before we ever thought of closing our windows or locking the doors. That was when me and my mama and daddy were kids, before the world caught up with us, before we lost our innocence. We didn't know we didn't have much, we just knew there was always love. And when fear came round our house, they kept it here. Back when me and my mama and daddy were kids. Well, JFK and then LBJ kept talking about it. Southeast Asia and all of us doing our part. never heard of that tiny country, but the learning soon began when I saw that army letter in my brother's hand. Yeah, that was when me and my mama and daddy were kids, before the world caught up with us, before we lost our innocence. We never knew we didn't have much, we just knew there was always love. And the fear came round our house, they kept it hid, back when me and my mama and daddy were kids. Yeah, that was when me and my mama and daddy were kids, before the world caught up with us, before we lost our innocence. We didn't know we didn't have much, we just knew there was always love. And the fear came round our house, they kept it hid, back when me and my mama and daddy were kids. Me and my mama and daddy were kids. Well, I saw my producer laughing during that, so it must be some good comments coming by, right?
Yeah, great comments.
Good. I always like.
Sister-in-law's on here too, baby. She's on here.
Is
too.
she on there?
said, "Baby,
Wow.
She loves you."
Carol, way to go, Carol Sue. I love it. Man, that's really good. I'm glad you're doing well. And that song really takes me back to my young days, those days when you would turn the TV on Saturday morning and watch Roy Rogers. And then Sky King came on, I think, right after that, and get to watch those cartoons on Saturday
Like you do
mornings.
now.
Like I do now, yeah, that's right. Hey, exactly. Yeah, some stuff don't ever change, does it? I mean, it's 1982 was my first album, came out on RCA Records. It was a clever name of an album. It's just called Steve Wariner. And we paid somebody a lot of money to come up with that title. But anyway, that was my very first record. And I'm going to do you a song. We get asked about this song a lot. A lot of people request this one. And I was so thrilled when we went in and cut it. I was thinking, I was wanting to cut something that was very Glen Campbell, very Jimmy Webb-like. And boy, when this came out, I had so many people. My first couple records came out. I had so many people going like, wow, we thought that was Glen Campbell. I thought I could, I'm done. You can stick a fork in me. If people think I'm Glen Campbell, that's awesome. So that's what I wanted. I loved the Glen Campbell Good Time Hour. And he was, incredible. And one of the greatest artists of all time, in my humble opinion. And nobody more talented than that guy. Willie Nelson said of Glen Campbell, he said when God was giving out talent, Glen Campbell got out of line after he got his talent and got back in line and went through again. That's about right. But Tom Collins produced this record. 6 months out at sea, be coming home soon on leave. I think of her as I stand here on the deck. Stars light the sky like a Kansas City night. Reflections on the water take me back. Kansas City lights in my mind, they shine so bright. She's waiting there, I've been away too long. Kansas City lights shine for me tonight. Watch over her for me till I get home. 'Cause no war is ever won, but mine's a job that must be done. It's just sometimes it feels like no one cares. waves are calm tonight as I take my pen and write. You're always in my dreams and in my prayers. Kansas City lights in my mind, they shine so bright. She's waiting there, I've been away too long. Kansas City lights shine for me tonight. Watch over her for me till I get home. I dream I feel the plane descending above the lights of Kansas City, and as the plane touches down, I see her standing there right now. Kansas City lights in my mind, they shine so bright. She's waiting there, I've been away too long. Kansas City lights, oh please shine for me tonight. Watch over her for me till I get home. Oh, thank you. And the place goes crazy. Not really. I got to tell you a funny story, something that happened. When was this, Karen? This happened a couple weeks ago, I guess. I got a call from my good buddy, UK star basketball player, NBA star player, Kyle Macy called me the other day. And Kyle says, a friend of his, Eddie Owens, up in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, is going to honor a young lady. Her name is Mallory Lawrence, and they're going to honor her because she has a store up there called Hancock's. And they do a lot of stuff for the first responders, the police, fire, all that stuff. They do. She gives away cards, like gift cards and stuff for them, and does so much for the community, the store called Hancock's. And he said she really is a big fan of yours. In fact, she was at probably the last show I did before before the virus stuff hit. I did a short little concert, intimate little thing at Studio B, and she was in the audience. I didn't know that. But anyway, would you call in and surprise her because we're going to honor her? So I go, heck yeah, Kyle, I'll be glad to do it. So I call up Eddie Owens at the station there in Hopkinsville, and we surprised Mallory. And I was just tickled that she said, he put her on the spot. He said, who's your favorite artist? And I'm thinking, oh no, she's going to say Blake Shelton. I know she's going to. And she said, Steve Wariner. And I went, oh, wow, that was a close call for me. But anyway, so I told her, Mallory, I told you that I was going to do the weekend for you. And I'm going to take a sip of my water, and I'm going to do the weekend just for you. So anyway, we'll say thank you, Mallory Lawrence, for all that you do up in the Hopkinsville area. So yeah, I got my green light. You're talking about, yeah, my green light's on, my producers. So Mallory, thank you so much for all you do and taking care of our first responders. That's so vital and important. I know everybody in that community loves you. So we'll do this for you. A couple of days isn't a very long time. Why can't I just walk away? I used to be good at goodbye. Out on the water, under the stars, I let the moonlight play a trick on my heart. fell right over, I didn't think twice. I finally got something worth keeping. And if I can't have you tonight, at least I had the weekend. Ooh. The radio plays the sound of the waves rolling in. The spell of the night, it sure can get under your skin. Just for a moment, I held you too close. Now I'm all out of time and I don't want to let go. You had some fun for the weekend, but I'll be in love for the rest of my life. You took me out to the deep end, and I fell right over, I didn't think twice. I finally got something worth keeping. And if I can't have you tonight, at least I had the weekend. How much can happen in a night or two? I guess it's all depending on your point of view. You had some fun for the weekend, girl, but I'll be in love for the rest of my life. You took me out to the deep end, and I fell right over, I didn't think twice. You had some fun for the weekend. Ooh. Mallory Lawrence. Yeah. And there you have it. Bill Abounty and Becky Foster wrote that. Some people have been asking me on social media what am I up to these days? What have I been doing since we last did our Warner Wednesday? And well, I've been doing a few things. I've been writing some. I wrote with Brett Tyler and Kimberly Kelly the other day. We wrote a really cool song, and they're wonderful folks. So I got to write with Brett and Kimberly, and so I've been writing some via iPad, I should say, FaceTime, Zoom, whatever. So I did that, and then I've been writing a bunch, working on some new music. I've been painting a lot. I've been wearing out the art stores, the supply stores with paint and supplies and stuff, Amazon, like everybody else. So been doing that, and I've been doing some collaborating too. I did something recently that's pretty cool. I guess I'm in a new band. I'm in a band called the Quarantine All-Stars, and it's really a cool project. It's actually a charity thing that they're doing. It's a song that's coming out called the Quarantine Blues. There's several people involved. I know Luke Bryan is involved. His band, Scotty Wilbanks is the guy that kind of wrote it and put it all together, and James Cooksey's in on it playing some bass, and Luke introduces it, and but anyway, he's got a whole bunch of cool people in it. Let's see, Brad Paisley, Chuck Lavelle, Jonathan Cain, Sonny Emery, Sam Sims, Dave Ristrom. It's a bunch of, I'm leaving out some cool players and wonderful players I know, but there's a bunch on it. Some of the Tower of Power guys, horn guys, and are playing, and some wonderful, serious players. So you need to check it out. It's called the Quarantine Blues, and it's by the Quarantine All-Stars, and it's a split screen where we all play horns and stuff. Pretty special, and the proceeds go to Music Cares. It goes to Music Cares, which is a brilliant organization that takes care of a lot of musicians and artists and musicians. That really, the musicians more than anything that really need it. Need help, and that's a great cause. So check that out. and it's called the Quarantine Blues, the Quarantine All Stars, and you'll be hearing more about it from us.
It'll be coming out the 24th.
24th, is it?
July
Yeah.
24th.
July 24th. Yeah. July, right? Yeah. So I got my Telly here. I know I might as well say it because somebody's going to ask me. This is a 54 Telly that I bought several years ago and from a friend of mine. I thought I'd just play a little Telly tonight, so. Let me turn that up just a little bit. Make sure you hear that. I mean. Oh, yeah, we can hear it. I gotta be the luckiest man alive. I have somebody like you to share my life. Now there's no more scheming. There's nothing in the world I wouldn't do for you. It thrills me when I think that you feel the same way too. I must be dreaming. Baby, I'm yours, heart and soul. Baby, I'm yours till we both grow old. Baby, I'm yours. Do with me what you want. Been around the world and I've had my share of just about everything there is, but I swear it just don't mean nothing. The grass is always greener on the other side. Whoever said that never did look into your eyes. I have your loving, baby, I'm yours, heart and soul. Baby, I'm yours till we both grow old. Baby, I'm yours. Just do with me what you want. Baby, I'm yours, heart and soul. Baby, I'm yours till we both grow old. Baby, I'm yours. Just do with me what you want. We'll play again. Baby, I'm yours, heart and soul. Baby, I'm yours till we both grow old. Baby, I'm yours, just do with me what you want. Oh, yes. And then I thought of playing maybe just a little piece of this song. I thought of this today. I've not played it in 100 years. I'll just play a little piece of it. It's so fun to play. Forgive me if I go to Cleveland for just a second. I always say that when I mess up, but no offense to my friends in Cleveland. But this is a little song that I learned off of an old Chet Atkins album back. Gosh, we lived on Maple Street up in Indiana, and I used to sit and practice with those Chet records. And it's an old song from a movie called Never on Sunday. Sunday. Let me get rid of this guitar. I have to tell you about a couple, speaking of music that's coming out. Were we talking about that? I don't remember. But anyway, a couple albums I want to remind you of. Clint Black's album, it's called Out of Sane, his latest record. It's so cool. I'm only saying that because I'm selfish and I've wrote a couple tunes with him on that record. No, I tell you, it's a brilliant record, some really cool music. He did a modern take on the Harry Nilsson song, Everybody's Talking at Me, but I don't hear a word they're saying. And man, you got to hear this version he did. It is so freaking good. And so yeah, check that out if you get a chance. Clint Black's new album, Out of Sane. And they're also, I got my album pre-ordered. The new Jeannie Seely album is getting ready to come out. She's been working on an album for a while. And Bobby Tomlin and I wrote a song. I've talked about it before, but it's a song on that album. Dottie West and Jeannie were best of friends. And there's a song that we helped Dottie finish, to be quite honest with you. We got access to some of her notebooks. This notebook is from about 1964 or 5, we think, and we took a song premise from her book and we finished it, helped her finish it, and it's pretty cool. Jeannie cut it for her new record. It's called, the album is called An American Classic, and if you could call it that, is the song that Bobby and I wrote with Dottie for Jeannie on this record. But her new single, the single from this album is out. It's a duet with Willie Nelson. There's Not a Dry Eye in the House, and it is so good. You have to check it out. Willie's Willie, you know, so, and he plays Trigger on there, and it's so good. But anyway, that's a couple projects out. That's some stuff that's coming out. I've been working also with my buddy Jim Witter up in Canada, so I'm working on a little project. He has a new record he's kind of working on, and I won't give away too much, but we're working on a couple of collaboration things with him, and it's going to be really nice. I'm really proud to Felix Cavallari. He's got an album that's coming out. Everybody remembers the Rascals, the Young Rascals, the Rascals. Felix is an American treasure. His voice is still incredible. You should hear him sing. If you haven't for a while, you should need to check him out. Well, I guess you can't say, I started to say go see a live show because he rocks it live, but he's got a new album, and now Mike Sievers and Felix and I wrote a couple tunes on this new project. Sharon Vaughn wrote one. I know he wrote some cool stuff, but we wrote a new couple tunes on this record. So I'll be reminding you of it, but the new Felix Cavallari album's coming out. So, and gosh, which reminds me, speaking of Mike Sievers, Mike produced that album. He travels and tours with Felix, but he also produced this album. So, but oh yeah, let's see. I'm gonna do. Speaking of Mike and I wrote this song. I want to do this if I can remember. I don't ever do this song live. It was from an album that I did called "It Ain't All Bad." I just love this lyric if I can remember it. But sorry about the drop D there. It's called "Arrows at Airplanes." There's an old man sitting in a fishing pole with a cane pole in his hand. 2 teenage boys skipping school, looking to kick up a little sand. Hey, your line's not even in the water, old man. You ain't got any bait. He just smiles and says that's okay, 'cause I'm not fishing anyway. I'm shooting arrows at airplanes, throwing pillows at freight trains, just trying to walk across this clear blue sky, loving every minute, 1 second at a time, sitting here on top of the world, watching the day go by. He said this world's all in a hurry, driving crazy out in the fast lane. We're all on different highways, but we all ended in the same old place. So I think I'll sit here on this riverbank with my bologna sandwich in this paper sack. There's nothing in this world that I'd rather do than lie right here on my back and shooting arrows at airplanes, throwing pillows at freight trains, just trying to walk across this clear blue sky, loving every minute, 1 second at a time, sitting here on top of the world, watching the day go by. I'm shooting arrows at airplanes, throwing pillows at freight trains, just trying to walk across this clear blue sky, loving every minute, 1 second at a time, sitting here on top of the world, watching the day go by. I'm shooting arrows at airplanes. Yeah, I can tell I've not done that one for a little bit. So, anyway. Sorry to tune in front of you, but you'll much prefer this being in tune, I promise you. I thought I would tell a story tonight. I wanted to tell about a couple stories maybe from my early days with Dottie West. There's one I was telling Karen the other day. It was kind of funny. When I left Dottie, I worked with her for 3 years, and when I left, I was working for Bob Lumen, but during off times, kind of some off time, I went on the road with Dottie, just rode along for fun. We were still very good friends, and I would go ride along with Byron and Dottie and the band and hang out. Well, one time I think we were going to Iowa. They were doing a couple shows, and the first one was in Iowa. And I was just tagging along. I hopped on the bus and didn't really even take change of clothes or anything, really. And I remember she did like an auditorium the next day in Iowa somewhere, and I remember she was on stage. She had asked me the night before. She goes, "You want to get up and sing one of our songs together?" And I go, "Sure, if you want me to." I didn't bring any stage clothes, but yeah, I'd be glad to. And so during the show, Dottie did this on her own. I was sitting up in the stands. It's like a big auditorium, and I was sitting in the stands watching, close to the stage, and she starts in on this story saying, "Yeah, I got to tell you guys something that was incredible last night." She goes, "We were driving along coming here, middle of the night, way up in the night, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock. She goes, it was pouring rain." She painted this story so beautifully. She said, "We looked up and our bus driver slammed his brakes on. There was this young kid on the side of the road with a guitar case." And she goes, "He was just drowned. We had to stop and pick this kid up. I told the driver, Larry Barr, I said, you got to pick him up." And so we picked him up and we brought him with us. We had him play a couple songs for us on the bus when he dried off. Well, she was talking about me, but that all was a false story. But so she goes, "And he's in the audience tonight. He's with us, and we've thought we might get him up to do a song. Would you guys like to hear him sing?" Well, the place went crazy. They were like, "Oh, yeah," they wanted to hear it. So she goes, "Steve, where are you?" And she called me Stephen Noel. She said, that's my middle name. She goes, "Stephen Noel, where are you?" Way, way before I was making records, by the way. But anyway, so she goes, "Come on up." And so the place was they were all on my side, so I get up and I've got my bell-bottom blue jeans on and my T-shirt. I get up on stage and we do the first song, we get finished. I think we did Rings of Gold, a song that Dottie West and Don Gibson had a big hit with. So we got done with that song and the place went crazy. They were really pulling for the young kid that was hitchhiking, So I started to leave the stage and she goes, "No, come back. You got to do another song." And so I came back and we did Sweet Memories, the Mickey Newberry Sweet Memories. And so the place went crazy. And I thought that was a really cool story of Dottie West pulling. She had a really wicked sense of humor. She would pull some tricks on people, I can tell you. She would pull the bus. She'd have the bus pull around and hide if you were in a truck stop and that kind of stuff. You were coming out and you walk out and look for the bus and go, where is it? So anyway, I thought you might enjoy that story. That was a fun night. And Dottie was really a sweet lady and a great teacher. I went to the Dottie West School of Music for 3 years, that's for sure. I'll tell you a story too. This was Karen, you can tell me when this was. I don't remember, but I think my album, I forget which album was just coming out. The song I'm about to do was on that album. But we were slated to do Garrison Keillor. He was doing his show from St. Paul, from his theater up there in St. Paul, Minnesota. And so we had a cool idea. We thought, well, let's drive up to Chicago, something to do, just something different. We thought, let's drive to Chicago. We'll pop in and stay a few days, see our good buddy Scott Nelson with the Cubs at that time. We'll visit with Scott, and then we'll hop on a train, and I forget which train it was, but it goes straight into St. Paul and Minneapolis, and so it would be really fun it were just two of us, Karen and I went, and so we did it. We went up on a train, and I remember Garrison Keillor, when we were telling everybody up there that they were looking for our car, and I says, "No, we took a train up here." They loved it, and so, which is unusual for this part of the country, but anyway, what was interesting on that show, they had wonderful guests and a lot of cool people, but on the show was John Lithgow, from Third Rock from the Sun and Harry and the Hendersons, a million other movies. And he was on the show, and he was wonderful. He was so sweet and nice to all of us. And at that time, if I'm not mistaken, Dexter had just finished up the Dexter series with Michael C. Hall, I think is. And so John Lithgow he did a character in that show that was evil. I mean, evil serial killer. And anyway, so I'll never will forget when Karen, we were walking up the stairs. And I remember, Karen, you walked up the stairs and you were face to face with John Lithgow in the hallway, and he was the serial killer we just watched like a couple nights before.
Scared me to death.
He
played it so good.
Yeah, he played it. He's a hell of an actor,
man.
man. He's my favorite. But anyway, and I told him about it later, and he was cracking up over it. And we went to Garrison's house that night and had a little get together after the show. And I told him, and he got a real kick out of that. About that his character on the Dexter. So, but I remember the look on your face is like, oh my God, I'm all by myself in this hallway, in this stairwell with this serial killer. I want to remind you guys again about if you find it in your heart to go to the store, Brad Paisley and Kim Williams Paisley's store that they have. That it's their organization that helps families with food and feeds a lot of hungry folks and that need it. And they've just started this. What, Karen? They were working on it early in the year before this virus stuff happened. They were working on it because Brad told me about it right at the end of the year, like first of the year. So it's finally up and going, and they do a wonderful job. And I think information is up on the screen right now. And please, if you get it a minute, don't matter what it is, help them out. If it's $1, I don't care, whatever. It's a great organization that helps a lot of people. So I'm going to close out and do a song that's on that album I was telling you about, John Lithgow. That when I did it on the. You want to say?
No, that's good.
Okay. I'll do something else before we close out, but I'll do this song right now because I did it on the Garrison Keillor, the show that night, Prayer Home Companion, and I wrote this with my buddy Camp Blasey, who I just love his songwriting. He's written so many wonderful songs, and this is one that I was glad that we got together on and did. It's called Spokes in a Wheel. Little blue rock called Mother Earth, spinning our way through the universe. All the conditions came together just right and blessed us with this gift of life. Now there's a zillion folks filling up this planet. We can no longer take her for granted. We're just spokes in a wheel, turning around together. We can make this world work for the better. We're all connected, we're all affected by every single thing that we do. People, me and you, we're just spokes in a wheel. Water that we drink, the air we breathe, the love we share, the food we eat. It's time we lay our differences down so we can plant our dreams in some common ground. What will it take for all of us to be willing to look at what we're leaving to our children's children? We're just spokes in a wheel, turning around together. We can make this world work for the better. We're all connected, we're all affected by every single thing that we do. People, me and you, we're just spokes in a wheel. We can no longer predict the future by looking at the past. If we don't honor this delicate balance, who knows how long we'll last. We're just spokes in a wheel, turning round together. We can make this world work for the better. We're all connected, we're all affected by every single thing that we do. People, me and you, we're just spokes in a wheel. Ooh, we're just spokes in a wheel. Ooh, we're just spokes in a wheel. I'm going to play us out, and I want to say to you guys, be safe, wear your masks, be safe. Distance all you can, and stay safe and healthy. I love you guys, and thanks for being with us tonight on Warner Wednesday. We'll see you again on August 19th. And please stay safe and be kind to each other, and we'll see you next time. I'm going to play us out. everybody. Be safe.